Hey, my name is Violet Price. I am the writer-director of the now wrapped feature film God's Country. We just shot for 14 days with a few days off, so it was really like an 18-day span of time. A very intense experience for me. And I was doing daily video blogs at the end of every day. I thought it was sort of interesting to document in real time how I felt as I made it. And I found them to actually be rather boring because after you come home from an 8 to 14 to 17-hour day, usually all you feel is tired. I'm usually just really happy that they went well and tired. And although that is real, we documented it, it's actually kind of boring. And now that I've had 3 days off to decompress and sort of process what I went through, I feel like I probably have a little more interesting things to say, although I am still very much processing what was a very intense experience. I underestimated how intense it was as I went through it because it was probably at least 30 days of 24/7. Every decision felt so high stakes. Every scene felt like the most important scene in the movie. Because of our budgets, we had to nail it in 2 takes to have a chance of doing it. Luckily, our actors were both fucking geniuses. Fucking geniuses. Sasha Forrest came out of nowhere, um, gave her performance that I think is going to blow a lot of people away and like make her career. Bugs, same deal. Like just fucking. I've never worked with actors of that caliber, and every time I think about the footage and I think about what I shot, I'm going to be looking at it. I was supposed to get it tonight, but I'm getting the footage tomorrow. Um, I'm really, really, really proud of what we did. I think when you're making a movie or when you're leading up to making a movie, you talk it up a lot because you have to, because you need people to believe in you. You don't get someone to work on your movie by saying, I don't know if it's going to be good. You have to say, I love it. And that's the process, faking it till you making it. Um, however, like I have imposter syndrome like everybody else. I'm on set thinking like I'm a fraud. You know, the same things everyone thinks when they're doing their big high stakes fucking thing. And it was scary and it was nerve wracking, but it went insanely well. I had so much support. It was so overwhelming the support I had. And now that it's wrapped, I don't like to drink my own Kool-Aid. I don't get to get ahead of myself. But the footage I have seen has been earth-shakingly good. Just incredible work. Just I think everyone involved like vastly exceeded my wildest expectation. The performances, the DP especially. I've always wanted to work with a brave DP, somebody who made huge choices, big swings is what we like to say. And they shot my movie in fisheye lens. They shot the entire thing with a confetti filter. They shot some shots. They shot it in log. They committed to every look in camera, color grading wise. They had entire scenes that were mono blue. They had entire scenes that were handheld one shots. Lots of them. They did crazy shit in every shot, and they never hesitated. And it was exactly what I've always wanted in a DP. And I think we made a movie that took really big swings. It was a really big, beautiful. It was what it was, and it like never apologizes. Everything is big. Everything is just like it's a really. I'm really proud of it. I think it's hard to say if a movie's going to be good till it's out, although I think it will be. But I can say definitively now it is an ambitious movie. It is a movie that um, is entirely shot in fisheye lens and lens babies. It is a movie that's about personal things. I am proud to say the very first T for T sex scene in a film, and it is an emotional, meaningful, touching scene. Shooting it was such an interesting experience. It's very never directed a sex scene before. I've been in some adult content, but that's a different experience. Almost totally, like almost entirely different, absolutely inexplicable in my experience. I'm sure that people who've done a lot of adult content who would maybe be better at this, but I've only done I like OnlyFans stuff to be honest, and this was not that. And luckily, we hired this intimacy coordinator that I've worked on another project with, who's one of the best people in LA. She's like a professional dom in LA in the king scene. She's super accredited, Maria Two Straps. Anyone who knows her loves her. Anyone who's worked with her loved her. We scheduled around her, and she showed up. And have intimacy coordinators are the best thing to happen in movies. I do not know how they did sex scenes before intimacy coordinators. They're there for the actors. They make the actors comfortable. They make me comfortable. They are just someone who's comfortable in that environment. And they had all these little tricks, how to make it look better, how to like fake it better, how to like just really like. I think we created something that we're all really proud of. And I was so proud of my crew. Everyone was so professional and so adult, and everyone understood what we were trying to do. And at the end, I think we made something that is the first really good T for T sex scene in a movie. We also are basically the first movie with a non-binary lead. Technically, Ezra Miller counts, but I don't think anyone in our community wants to count him, so we will not. I say first NB lead in a film. Fight me, Ezra Miller, you weird person. I don't even know all the Ezra Miller drama because I don't give a shit about DC movies. Believe it or not, I'm an adult and I don't watch fucking The Flash or whatever. Like, oh, shots fired. It's weird because now that I'm on Twitter and I have a lot of like film Twitter followers and a lot of just general followers. How many of my followers? I've never met anyone who liked the DC movie in my life. You hear about the Snyder Cut. I've never met anyone in any situation like anyone I've like not my parents' generation, not anyone I've ever had a conversation with, not anyone I can think of. I've never met a single. It's one of these weird things like Oprah. I've never met anyone who liked Oprah. I know she's a big phenomenon, but DC movies are like that for me. But now that I have Twitter followers, I have people who come into my spaces and are like, oh, this one's better than this one, and the Snyder Cut's good. And you're like, I guess you existed all along, but I don't know how to react to these people. I'm on a tangent. Let me get back to my movie. But bottom line, first NB, first non-binary lead. I'm not even sure I love the phrase NB, but whatever. First non-binary lead. And as I process it, there's probably going to be a couple blogs because I'm 6 minutes in. I haven't even started yet. But as I sit back and I've had 3 days to process it, it's been very interesting to think about what this movie means to me. Like, you never think it's going to be real. You never think you're going to... Like, I've made a lot of projects in my life, and many of them have been good, but none of them have made my career. You know, I've made I spent $17,000 in 2 years on a pilot for a kids' TV show. Nickelodeon liked it, but did not pick it up, as it goes with like 45 out of 50, like 49 out of 50 pilots don't get picked up, and I was one of them. And it was something I really loved, but like when I think about how much time and love and intensity and passion I put into that project, which no one has ever seen, it's like in a private on YouTube. It has like 20 views, and that's fine. But you know what I mean? I don't automatically assume that when I write a movie that the world is going to see it. Like I don't. I think that's arrogant, and I'm just not in a position where I could do that. However, now that I'm starting to feel like this movie will at least exist. I mean, it's shot. We're gonna edit it. This movie is done. This movie will exist. People will see it, and that's a weird thing for me to process. That my movie will, you know, this whole time I've been making it, but I never. When I'm making a movie, people said at the beginning of the movie I'd never make it because it was too big of a deal. And if you think about it as making a movie, that's impossible. But if you think I have to write a script, okay, I have a script, I need to cast it, now I need to get money. You just think one step ahead, and that's the only way you can do it because the whole thing's overwhelming and it takes years. Literally in my third year making this. So the idea that this like I'm at this point now, I'm thinking to the next phase for the first time, quite literally, that oh, people will see this movie, and I don't know how they're going to take it. I think it'll go well. I think some people will, but I'm at the point where it's an unknown. And wrapping my head around that and going down different roads of like maybe it'll be this cute little indie movie, maybe it'll resonate with my community, maybe some people will hate it, maybe some people will love it, maybe everybody will love it. I have no idea. It's not even done yet. I haven't even started editing it. I can't even see my footage, which is frustrating. My producer sent me over a drive with footage on it. The drive was formatted Mac only. You ever do that? You ever do that thing where you start like downloading Mac Drive and it just wants money and it doesn't work, and it's a whole hassle. And it's not a mistake you should be making at a professional level to not format a drive. I made that mistake once in college and I never made it again as long as I lived. The fact that my professional editor did not format a drive right is concerning. But I'm at the point now where we've spent enough money on this movie that when people make basic technical mistakes, I'm starting to get frustrated. This entire time people said I never got frustrated. I'm the nicest director in the world, and I am. But at a certain point, we have 13 days to make a deadline, and I've spent 2 days waiting for... Anyway, don't get me started. I feel like post might get a little frustrating because it doesn't matter. The editor I hired has been... Whatever. Everything's complicated, isn't it always? But I'm very excited about it. I really am, and I really, for the first time when we called wrap on the last day, because like the thing is too, even to the last day, it is easy to fuck up a scene. It is easy to fuck up the sound. It is easy for things to go wrong. It is easy for lighting to be bad, or a take to be bad, or blah 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 blah. But every single day I got everything I wanted, which never fucking happened. I got the best compliment of my life. There was someone, this amazing filmmaker, Rachel Kendra. I love her. She was a good positive energy on set. I really came to like her through the course of my movie. She did all the behind the scenes stuff, and she was making a documentary on me. And she said, I have no documentary here. This movie is people going home early, having a good day at work, and being happy they work together. To which I said, you should have made a movie about how, how good it was. I don't know. If you showed up hoping for shit to go down, it didn't go down. There was a movie there. I don't know. I don't know what she shot. I don't know what her vision is. I love Rachel. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying. I don't know. My movie went really well, and I'm sorry that was not the best documentary in the world. Oh, boo-hoo. Um, can't help but talk shit. I love you, Rachel. I genuinely love it, and I'm so interested to see what you do with the footage. I really am. Um, anyway, though, I'll make this a 14-minute one. I'm at 11. I'll give myself 3 more minutes. Um, yeah, I had a cool night tonight. I went out with Bugs and her girlfriend, and we saw Sasha, who was the star of the movie, perform music, and it was this beautiful performance. Um, and it was really nice. And anyway, yeah, I'll have more to say. I feel like I want to do more video blogs now that I think that as I go into post and start watching my movie, I'll have a lot more to say about it. An interesting thing about our movie, as far as big swings go, I always forget to mention stuff that's big. There are 4 improvised scenes in my movie, which was a big fucking choice. I almost don't understand why I did that. I did an improv scene in the first half of the movie with Annie Hardy, who's like a master improviser. She improvised a whole movie in, for Blumhouse that was in theaters. So working with someone like that, I can just sit back and let her improvise the movie. She's a genius at improvising, certainly. Um, but I improvised my scene, and I improvised a scene with Chapo Trap House in Bugs Matrix, and I improvised a scene with Paul Oyen. I might be saying his name wrong, but he's um, not the biggest name, although I feel like he should be. Like when I tell people about a movie, I'm like, I got Paul in it, and they're like, who's that? And I'm like, Jesse Miller Talk Show, like, and I'm like, I guess that it was an Adult Swim pilot, I believe, but I see it in LA all the time. It's one of the best shows. Jesse Miller, Andre Highland does a show, and this is his buddy who does a show with him, and they're both like the 2 funniest dudes in the world. I'm like their biggest fans. Uh, Jesse Miller, Andre Highland was in he's in everything. He did a movie with Daniels. He did Death of Dick Long. He did The Fourth. He's just somebody I've just been this rabid fan of. And and like when his buddy auditioned, I was like, oh my god, you're like as good, like arguably more interesting. Like I wanted to work with Andre Highland. But then I saw an audition from his buddy, and I'm like, oh my god, you're like as good, but you do something totally different, and you're like somebody I could work with. It's like sort of we can sort of come up together. Like it was like really exciting to have like this fresh talent that this guy's a fucking genius, and I want to make a whole movie starring him. I'm like his biggest fan, and like seeing him improvise. He did some of the funniest, very dry improv in this scene that was supposed to be 1 minute long. I think it's going to be like 7 minutes long. He goes on these amazing tangents about the dumbest shit. I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm gonna call this one. Thank you for listening to me rant and ramble. That's my video blog. My video blog. My video blog.